Hey everybody, welcome back. It's the beginning of the school year and yeah, right off the bat, sore throat, I have a cold, not feeling all that well. I've decided to make myself feel a little bit better by hanging out with you guys and opening a new deck. This is something that was sent to me in December, end of December, and because of the busy schedule and all the decks I opened that month, I decided to wait a little bit. So I've had this deck for a couple of weeks now in my home unopened. It's actually the Trionfi Della Luna Paradoxical 3rd edition. So what we're going to do today is trying to spot the difference. As I think I know the Trionfi Della Luna Paradoxical 1st edition English text like the back of my hand. I'm gonna check out these pips because I think the pips are the cards where there are some subtle differences, and see if I can see which cards have received an update and which ones haven't. First of all, lesson for myself. This was part of the box that was sent to me. Note to self, don't cut into it because Patrick Valenza makes beautiful artwork on the inside of the boxes. For Anna, it says, "Dear Anna, I hope you're doing well. I thought you might like this updated mutation of the Trionfi Paradoxical. I've added little faces in some of the pips to help with reversals." That's good. There's also an alternate strength card included. Enjoy in friendship, Patrick. Patrick, thank you so much beforehand. And there were some extra cards included. So we got one with these new backs. This is a blue Wheel of Fortune. And these backs, it's a new mutation, as he calls it, a new colorway of his Trionfi Della Luna deck. I think it's only in illustrated pips, I'm not sure. But anyway, if you want to find out more of Patrick Valenza's work from Deviant Moon, everything is on deviantmooninc.com or .inc, I'm not sure. I'll link it below for sure anyway, so that you can check out his work. I got some playing cards here that he also created. Just look at this fun artwork. I believe he sent me all the knights. So nice. So I'm actually not sure what deck they come from. Maybe some of you can tell me. And here, this just might be the updated strength card in that rainbow. Yes, I believe that's what it was, the rainbow mutation. So strength here, it looks like she's opening something that looks more like a sun than a lion because of the flames and everything. And she's opening the mouth. Is this from a historical deck as well? Because Patrick tends to put his own twist on actual historical tarot cards, you know? So anyway, let's open this one up. 3rd edition English text. People are commenting on Patreon. Love it. Cannot believe how many of this deck I have now. Yes, okay, so Trionfi Della Luna is the Marseille-styled cousin of the Deviant Moon Tarot. Its creation was inspired by antique historical decks and 19th century satirical illustrations. Just the attention to detail, honestly. Such a good indie deck, just whatever version you decide to get. I believe almost everybody ends up with at least a few different versions, don't they? Okay. Title card. And here we have all the majors still the same. This is the original strength card. It's my favorite card in this deck. I mean, you've probably all seen it by now, right? But this is just such good stuff. For those who don't know, this was the original Devil card. This was the original Tower card. The original Star card. And oh, I thought this was the new Judgment card. And the other one that looks more like the Rider-Waite-Smith or the Marseille style that I know was the original one, but maybe not, because apparently this deck has that mouth card. Okay, so let's see. The ace looks the same to me. Looks like the colored borders are back, which I do like, because if I'm not mistaken, see that per suit. Every suit has a different colored small border. If I'm not mistaken, the illustrated version or the scenic pips has white borders on every card. I think so. So let's see if I can see anything that's updated. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, it's hidden. But look. Two of Wands has faces now. Very teeny tiny faces. And the third has faces in those flesh-eating plants, is what I see in them. And here, I'm pretty sure there's a moon added there. Okay, so I see what he did. It's definitely a third edition for folks who might be starting out with Marseille. I always recognized the Five of Wands by the eye, because maybe I should just do this by that eye here, because there's a little wrinkle underneath it, which kind of looks like bags under the eyes, and that's how I knew by that little detail that this would be right side up. I don't use reversals anymore, actually, hardly ever. Ever since I studied Thoth for some reason. But the updated thing here, though, are the little faces. So yeah, little faces, demon friends coming out of the plants. I think this is a very good way of telling upright from reversed. See that? Because you don't have to add anything to the cards, which I did in my beloved Trionfi. Show you what I did. Here we go, Two of Wands. I added the little silver dot. And I did this on every card where I wasn't able to tell by the artwork or remember, like I did in the Five of Wands, which side would be upright and which side would be reversed. So let's just compare the Two of Wands, since it's the first update. I thought I saw a subtle color difference. So let me see. This is my old deck, and this is the new deck. And it's very subtle, which is nice, because you still get the Marseille version, which quite a lot of people are looking for. So you can get that now on his site. And the color difference is just that this little freedom-looking bird is a bit more warm. I think the new deck is a bit more warm-toned. Honestly, I like my system of telling reverse cards too, because it's just so subtle. It's just a little dot. Let me show you another example. See? It honestly wasn't necessary in many cards, but I know that the original one is long out of print. This is your way of getting a nice, beautiful, slightly updated version of the Trionfi. Yeah. I think in this Eight of Wands, he just turned around this second little moon face, because at first I think it was a mirror image top to bottom, so this moon face would be upside down, and this one is, how do I say that, facing in the same direction as the other one. So let's see if I saw that correctly. So far in the wands, there's a face in every card. Just to show you, I recently changed out the devil card in my Trionfi. Such a beautiful lady. I was right. This is my own old deck. See that? Face upside down. So I had to put a dot there because there was really no way of telling. And yeah, new card. You can definitely tell. And still very subtle. Ooh, I like this one, the Nine of Wands. So, old deck, new deck. Look at those thorns. And then in the new deck, so fun to have those faces with the sticking out their tongue. The 10 is still the same because it had little moon faces coming out. I must say I really like the printing of this deck because I like the illustrated Pips version. You guys know that, right? That the illustrated or scenic Pips version is not my go-to. I still love the Marseille. I don't know, it just has something special, something that really makes me read in a more inspired way somehow, and I really like that world. So I'm keeping one illustrated version just because it's amazing to have a different version of a deck that's my favorite deck, you know what I mean? Like, give me a toss Trionfi Della Luna, somehow it's not going to happen, but it could. And then my collection would be complete because those are the three systems that I read, right? Marseille, Rider-Waite-Smith, Thoth. Anyway, the illustrated Pips somehow seemed a little bit more light in its printing, and therefore also, at least the version that I opened, the lines are a little bit thicker and lighter. So everything is less dark, which is just such a good feature of this deck. Every card is dark in the paradoxical version, you know? That's what I'm looking for. It just feels slightly different, at least to me, you know, someone who's working with this deck all the time. And I see now in this Marseille deck, cups wouldn't be changed, right? Because you can easily tell when it's reversed. But I'm finding again this beautiful darkness and sharp, thinner lines. Appreciate that. Quartz are the same, swords are the same. Patrick made sure in the first version already that you could tell, very easily tell, the difference between upright and reversed, which is different from a regular Marseille on some of the cards, for sure. Coins also are going to be the same because he put faces on all the coins. I don't expect to see a difference there either. Ooh, this is nice. Look at this new strength card. What does this mean? Wow. Because, you know, I don't need a new strength card since the original strength is my favorite card in my favorite deck. But this is a beautiful lady. And if you know from which historical deck this was based off of, I'd love to hear. Maybe it's actually more traditional from the Tarot de Marseille versions that I know. That might be it, actually. I'm being silly, because the strength with the pillar I have less decks that look like that, and this is reminiscent of the Strength, the Beautiful Lady, and the Lion. So interesting. I know where this card's going. It's going in my extra cards pile, which is really becoming quite thick now. This is what I do when I feel like switching out a card in my deck. So far we have like 7 or 8 devil cards, right? I'm gonna have to edge this one in the dark blue that I use. Kind of dark blue / black at the moment. And these are my extra cards. So I have an extra Pope card, Tower, another Tower, Judgment, Star. Here are Devil cards. And now I also have an extra Strength card. Okay, so I really like this update, especially for the people who have been longing for a Tarot de Marseille, Trionfi Della Luna. Honestly, it's my favorite deck, and seeing it updated in this way, you know, it's very subtle changes, but I can see why Patrick did it. And so this allows you to get just a beautiful Marseille version of the Trionfi. And pretty sure there are gonna be different colorways as well. So you know it's not gonna be first edition, but who cares? This is a deck that you use, right? And yeah, I kind of like all the little faces. I think the 6 of Wands is one of my favorites, and the one with the tongue, the 9 of Wands, because it can bring in some extra meaning, right? It can be a little bit of that devil may care attitude of I'm gonna do it my way anyway. Because anyway, with any 9, I see that as connected to the Hermit. So it's about you alone, and that's where the focus is. Either way, in Marseille, it's not necessarily a negative card. And in Rider-Waite-Smith also, I don't really see that necessarily as a negative card. But now you can actually look at facial expressions and get something extra out of it. One of the things that I sometimes maybe miss somehow in a Tarot de Marseille is that there are very little human faces. And this kind of solves that problem, right? Because I think now, in the 3rd edition, every single card except for the aces have some form of facial feature to look at and to go off of for meaning. So I think that's a pretty good update. So this is interesting. I now have an entire suit of Marseille style that I could also switch out in the original deck, you know. I'm not going to do that just yet because I don't want to get things too mixed up. Also, I still have not used any illustrated or scenic pips in my original Marseille. Just really didn't see them fitting together. I thought I was going to do it, but no, it's better this way. I like all the extra cards that we can switch out. It gives the deck new life every time you switch out a card or two, and it's such a luxury to have that option. So thank you so much, Patrick, and thank you so much for watching. All the links, etc., where you could get this deck is below. You know, I'm not getting paid or anything to do this. This is just honestly my favorite deck. So what are you gonna do? Of course I'm gonna tell you to get it. Of course I'm gonna tell you that I love it because it's just the truth. Again, little gem. Main thing that I like about this is that people can now get a Marseille version from maybe missing out on it all these years ago when it came out and then went out of print. This was it, and I hope you like it. If there are any questions, of course, let me know. Thank you all so much for watching and for being here. I will see you all next week.